Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a lot to talk about, so I'm just going to get straight into it. This was regarding something MLB said last night, and I didn't get to cover it in yesterday's video because I was mainly talking about Josh Young's injury and surgery. However, MLB has made it very clear that if a deal is not made by Monday, which would be the 28th, then games will be canceled and not made up, and the season is going to be less than 162 games, and they won't get paid in full no matter what, regardless of if it's the player's fault, if it's the owner's fault, whatever it may be. So that was last night. They went into that, and if the season is shortened, MLB says the players would not be paid in full, as I mentioned. However, the union can reject expanded playoffs, which would be a loss of about $100 million in revenue. Players would lose about $20.5 million in salaries each day that the season is delayed. They don't know how much the owners would lose, but I feel like it would be exponentially more than that based on how ticket sales are. Now, I know, personally speaking, I do have some tickets to a game in July, and I'm hoping by then this whole thing is good. But, each day that's gone by, I've had less and less faith in this. And this was just, I really liked this tweet. Striking to say that a deadline is a deadline with no flexibility in February if you waited 43 days to make a proposal after initiating a lockdown in December. I fully agree. MLB, in large part, has not made the effort, and the players have the absolute right to not cave into the owners, because not only is there the fact that they initiated the lockdown for the sake of, we're going to meet all the time and we'll get this thing knocked out, and then they waited 43 days between the proposal, but the players are the product, and I've said this a lot. I said it in the podcast episode a while back because I have not made another one of those since there's nothing new to really talk about. And it's just frustrating. I did see a player tweet today that if they would have been doing this in December, where would we be today? We might not even be having this conversation because the deal would have been done. If they were meeting, then it wouldn't have to be every day. That was my initial idea. And now they're doing that on the final week. But, 3 to 5 times a week. And also the fact that they're meeting at 1 p.m., like you can't get up earlier. That's definitely the owners, by the way. I know these players get up at like 5 in the morning to work out and stuff, so that's not on the players there. They're starting these negotiations at 1 p.m., so yeah, I don't blame them when they want to be done by 5, 6 o'clock at the latest, Then this was just a funny tweet from Fergie Jenkins. This lockout needs to end soon. I don't have room in my garage for an 8-foot statue of myself. And then Evan Grant coming in here saying this year is the 50th anniversary of the Rangers' first season in Texas, and that one was also short due to a work stoppage. That one they lost 8 games, which, if they lose less than 10 games, I still think that's a full season. There's been plenty of MLB seasons that were not 162 games, but we're not talking like 60 for the COVID season here. And I will actually hop over to his account. I think he did. Oh, no, he has not tweeted about it. Let's see over here. Yeah, so the union moved a little towards the league on draft order and service time manipulation, but the day ended early because the sides had nothing more to discuss, which is not good. They have plenty to discuss, in my opinion. And there's Jesse saying it right there. It's not good. I'm just going to retweet that with no context. There's not much to really say anymore. This is when they spent an hour talking by themselves, and then they went to go meet with the players. But yeah, pretty good point here. They're trying to play up to we're not billionaires. We're just everyday people. So pretty bad, and there's not much to say. There's some specifics about the the service time and the draft picks, but none of that matters because 1, it's changing every day anyway, and then 2, they can't seem to agree on anything. So when this stuff changes back and forth all the time, it does not really matter. And take a look here at what else has been said. Yeah, nothing more to discuss. It's just, I don't understand how that works. Oh, there's my feed refreshing, and there's Jared Sandler. Hi, Jared. MLB, okay, so this is newer stuff. They plan to meet tomorrow, but they didn't like the players' proposal today. And, new proposal will grant service time to fewer players than before. It's just ridiculous at this point. Yeah, this was the tweet that I saw as well. Players are upset with how far apart the sides remain, adding that MLB negotiators told the union they have run out of ideas and that owners are upset with players. So, if they're so far apart and the owners don't like him, let's just drop this season, man, I don't like to be negative like that, but at some point you just got to realize there is no way they're getting a deal done before Monday? There's no way, because they're probably not going to meet this weekend. I would be shocked if they use their precious weekends, the owners specifically, not the players, because I'm always going to be on the side of the players. If they just, use their precious weekend time to have a meeting, and I thought I retweeted it as well, but it was a tweet from Alex Wood about how he thought it was ridiculous. Same kind of thing, like that they waited 43 days, and they're like, oh, you're making this hard deadline. So that big comment came from a MLB representative who specifically said a deadline's a deadline. We can't move it back if we want to have a regular season start on time. So y'all know how I feel about this. All around a ridiculous situation, but this is where we're at right now. So the short version here is MLB is not only willing to cancel games, but they are going to cancel games if a deal is not made by Monday. And the players can turn down the expanded postseason if that happens. And it's just a mess. And they're so far apart still. So, as I always say, we'll see what happens. But I really don't have anything positive left to say, which I hate to say that because I do like to remain positive on these things. But it's been almost 3 months. And half of that time, they didn't meet at all, and all of a sudden they want to try to cram it on the last week. It's like if you got a paper for school or something, or some kind of report for your job, and they're like, yeah, you got 3 months, man, go ahead and give it back to us in 3 months, and you wait till the last week, and then you still only work like 3 hours a day on the last week for this big thing that thousands of people are relying on. I will say the silver lining, though, is the AAA season is the longest it's been in like 50 years, and all the minor leagues are still going to happen. So if you can, regardless of if MLB happens on time or in the same way, go out to some minor league games if there's a team near you. That's the beauty as well. There are a lot more minor league teams in the areas of smaller towns and whatnot. So go support those guys, because they're the future of MLB, whatever's going to be left of it. And I honestly like minor league games. I have mentioned it before. I think I talked about it yesterday, speaking about Josh Young. I've been to a handful of Frisco games. Those are always fun. And I haven't been to actually any other level, but I have been to Frisco games, handful of Frisco games. Always a great time. So go out and support those guys, man. And hopefully MLB will do their part in the future and support them as well. But before I just rant any longer, that's going to really be it for this video. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about the state of the lockout. It's just not good. It's just really not good. So that's all I have for y'all today. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.